And welcome everyone back to this City Ball Diamond here. Rusty Witcher with you here on the Lark Network as we're heading to Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Larks and Fort Scott Larks, coming away with an 11-5 victory in Game 1. And the batting order for the Greyhounds: Kennedy Meyer, Katie Bunch, Lane Bolkin, Abby Cox, Delaney Fries, Jordan Coddington, Adriana Pedro, Kayla Maynard, and Mackenzie Sample here for the Greyhounds. Defensively, same as Game 1 for the most part. A couple changes out there. Over in left, Lexi will be in left field. NIST Patrol center, and Cassidy over in right. Kaylin at the hot corner with Jesse and Paige up the middle, and Jenna Schneider getting the start here at first base. Sadie's behind the dish, and Amy Brutato coming to pitch. And Amy's numbers on the season, she's 2-5 in 19 games. 45 and 2/3 innings pitched. She's allowed 88 hits, 77 runs, only 46 of which were earned. 17 walks and 31 strikeouts here for Amy. She has an ERA of 7.05. DJ Shea Hoover is in the house with us tonight, and DJ Lindsey James. So it's the Lindsey and Shea show for music between the innings. So here we go as the top of the first, and Fort Scott coming back. Kennedy Meyer for the Greyhounds. Big shout out to Brian Kerr, the women's soccer coach, for feeding anyone and everyone between games. And the first pitch to Meyer, a ball. Meyer offers at it, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. That one upstairs, and our count 2 balls and 1 strike. Feel free to text me if you're a fan of the Hounds, fan of the Larks. Love to hear from you. Tell us who you are, who you're watching, where you're watching from. Is that on the ground? Paige smothers it, toss over Jenna Schneider. And 1 away here in the top of the first for the Hounds. That will bring to bat Katie Bunch. And Amy getting her sign from Sadie. And that's a good pitch from Amy, and the count 1 strike to Bunch. The 0-1 delivery. Misses a little bit low, and our count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a little flare, and Jessie with a diving snag over there. That one knuckled a little bit on Jessie, and she makes the play on the little pop. And there's 2 outs. One of those balls that you're not quite sure if it's going to get there. Knuckles down, Jessie makes a play. And they're 2 away for Lane Bolkin, the most dangerous hitter on the Fort Scott lineup. And rightfully so. Bolkin hit a 2-run home run. And takes a pitch down low. So Bolkin's probably going to be in the top, near the top of the conference in hitting, along with Amy Brutato from the Larks. And Bolkin does offer, and our count 1 ball, 1 strike. Abby Cox waits on deck. She'll pitch for the Greyhounds. Amy misses with a change. And our count 2 balls, 1 strike. That's a little tapper. Jessie plays it, sweeps it up, throws over. And the Greyhounds go 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
Robbie Rudd, Houston, Texas.
Brett Heichman, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Caden Bartlett, Amber, Oklahoma.
Caleb Stoll, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Tatum Ferguson, Nassau, Bahamas.
Connor Leach, Erie, Colorado.
Dalton Woody, Cibolo, Texas.
Dade Milburn from Lincoln, Nebraska. David Berzins, Houston, Texas.
Dave Ryan, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dayton Watkins, Valley Center, Kansas.
Grant Bloyer, Winfield, Kansas.
Hudson Smith, Waukomis, Oklahoma.
Hugo Kinabuchi, San Diego, California.
Ian Leckie, Overland Park, Kansas.
Justin Durnall, I'm from Windsor, Colorado.
Kalen Haynes, Trophy Club, Texas.
Kendall Theory, Westlake, Louisiana.
Malachi Swartz, Overland Park, Kansas.
Naoki Izumura, Tokyo, Japan.
And welcome back to the City Ball Diamond. Here into the bottom of the first we go. Jesse Miranda will lead this off for the Larks. As we said, Larks coming away with a 11-5 victory in Game 1. Supper time over, and a lot of students, baseball team members making their way over here. And Jesse digs in against Cox. And that pitch is a strike. Okay, and lastly on deck, Lexi waiting in the hole. The 0-1 on the way. Jesse lays the bunt down. Bunch has to field it. Bunch will not be able to, and Jesse has the infield single. And the Larks with a runner aboard. And that'll bring up Kalen lastly. Kalen moves to the left side of the plate. So, excuse me, that's Cox out there pitching. Forgive me. Cox is on the hill, and we'll take a look at Cox's numbers. Abby Cox, as the runner goes, Jesse swiping the ball, coming out, and Jesse taking second base. Cox on the season, she's 4-6 with 9 complete games, 61 innings pitched, has a 5.05 ERA. And now they're going to talk something over. Time being called. And so they're talking if Kalen swung or not. I think got 1 ball, no strikes to Kalen. As Jesse swiping third there. And they got 2 balls and no strikes. Check that. The count now 1 ball, 1 strike. So the count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike here. That one hitting the catcher, and check that. That one. Must have hit Kalen. So Kalen goes over to first. What? So runners at the corners, none away here for the Larks. And that one misses outside to Lexi. Lark's threatening here already in the top of the first. No, the bottom of the first, excuse me. And Lexi chases upstairs, and the count now even at a ball and a strike. Lexi taps it and it fouls off as Lex quickly behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lexi looks at one that drifts outside from Abby Cox, and her count now evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A fortunate break for the Larks. I went too high and away, and our count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sadie Leatherman on deck. Lex fouls one off and stays alive, so Lex with batter's box disco dancing as she stays alive. Larks goes up to Beatrice, Nebraska on Monday. They play Friday here. Tomorrow we'll be bringing those games live to you. Lexi shoots one foul. And Jesse dives out of the way, and that's why you run in foul territory. And the count. So our count still remaining 3 balls and 2 strikes. A big payoff pitch coming up here for Lex. Lex lifts one out to center field. And making the play is Meyer. Jesse Miranda coming home in a sacrifice fly for Lex. And the Larks have a run and now take the lead 1-0. And that'll bring up Sadie Leatherman. And Sadie stepping up here. 1 run in here for the Larks on the sacrifice fly by Lexi. And Sadie lays off at the high pitch. And they count 1-0. Good contingent of fans out there in left field. Sadie chases the change, and she's quickly even at 1-1. Sadie fouls it back and out of play. And they count 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1. Sadie watches it drift outside from Cox. Sadie taps it and fouls it off. And the count now riding full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. If you guys are a fan of the Larks, fan of the Hounds, we'd love to hear from you. Send us a text, 620-217-1465. Great contingent of kids here who all have gloves. I love seeing that. Sadie looks at one upstairs. Sadie draws the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sadie fouls it off and stays alive. And Kaylin will trot back to second. We're full again with Amy Bertato on deck. Payoff pitch, and Sadie fouls it back. And a mad scramble for the foul ball as not 1, not 2, but 4 young men with ball gloves take off after them. Another long at bat here for the Larks. Sadie fights another one off. I'd like to see the stats on how long a softball lasts in the game of fetch pitch. I know in Major League Baseball lasts 6.5 pitch. 6.5 pitches before they change out. Sadie fouls another one off. An incredibly long at bat from Sadie. Here with 1 out and 1 on. As we're in the bottom of the first. And that one misses upstairs, and Sadie draws the walk after the long at-bat, and Kaylin will move to second base. Amy Bertato coming to bat now. So Amy steps up. And Amy will dig in our first. Bottom one as Cox coming set, she'll deal, and Amy with a very healthy swing, she misses. And the 0-1 coming up. Amy lays off the pitch that rises high, and the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Amy lifts one and dumps it over the dugout, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Amy missed that pitch from Cox, missing downstairs to Amy in our count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the first. A run across and 2 on for the Larks. That one drifting downstairs, and our count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Amy chasing. Runner going. And a strike him out, throw him out, double play. We'll go to the top of the second with the Larks leading 1-0. Back after this.
Adriana Ruiz from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Amy Bertato from Whittier, California. Anissa Aguilar, Hacienda Heights, California. Cassidy King from Cochranville, Pennsylvania. Chelsea Smith, Tacoma, Washington.
Jenna Garcia, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Jenna Schneider from Lodi, California.
Jessie Miranda from Turlock, California.
Caitlin Lastly from Salina, Kansas.
My name is Alexis Avalos, and I'm from Yucaipa, California.
Madison O'Brien, Zuni, Virginia.
Malia Sandy from Girard, Kansas. Paige Biddle from Sacramento, California.
Reese McCrary from Sacramento, California.
My name is Sadie Leatherman, and I'm from Couts, Indiana.
Shay Hoover, Potwin, Kansas.
And we'll go to the top of the second here. Got a text. I believe that's my buddy Ryan. From Florida. And that one misses outside to Abby Cox. Cox, one of the the very dangerous hitter here for the Greyhounds. And that one fouled back to the fence. For Abby Cox. Cox hit a 2-run home run in game 1, leading off in the first inning. There's a curve by Amy Brotado that drops in. Payoff, that's golfed, and that will roll foul. Got a text saying, "Go Larks" from Nana. That's from Boo's family. That one fouled back into the fence. So my buddy Ryan texted me from Florida. How you doing, Ryan? Good to have you along for the ride. Count still riding with 2 strikes here to Abby Cox. That curve stays, or the changeup misses upstairs on count. 2-2. Top of the second here. And that one lifted foul towards the dugout. And the count still remaining 2-2. Next year, this field will be on campus through the netting. Press box behind the dugout. Well, great, that one fouled off. Cox fouls it into her feet while in the box. It's a foul ball. Weather's very nice here, Ryan. About 60 degrees. It's actually really nice after it's been so cold for so long. Swing and a miss, and Abby Cox goes down. 1 out now for Delaney Freeze. Freeze hitting .346 coming into today. 18 for 52, 5 doubles, a home run, and 13 runs driven in. She's tied for, or she's in 3rd place in terms of runs driven in after that first game, and Freeze takes a strike from Amy Brotado. DJ Shea Hoover's with us today. She's making herself comfortable, elevating her ankle. Amy comes back, and that one stays a little bit low. And our count, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 coming up. Swing and a miss, and the count now moving 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Delaney Freeze. Freeze now behind 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch coming up. Chasing downstairs, Sadie has it go through, but Sadie will throw it down to Jenna Schneider covering, and Amy gets a strikeout. 2 away here for the Hounds in the top of the second. .64 degrees at game time, no wind, and that's the big thing. There is not a breath of wind. It is incredibly pleasant, and Jordan Coddington sees a strike from Amy Brotado. Probably one of the nicer days we've had in a long time. There's a strike fired right back down to Coddington. Coddington now behind in the count, 0-2. That one too far out. Coddington lays off. She wanted to chase for a little bit, but good job holding back. Good plate discipline for Jordan Coddington. Coddington fouls it off on a checkish, swingish thingish on the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called as Coddington offered at it. Amy strikes the side out, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. Larks leading 1-0. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
Rabbit Rod, Houston, Texas.
Brett Heichman, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Caden Bartlett, Amber, Oklahoma.
Caleb Stoll, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Tatum Ferguson, Nassau, Bahamas.
Connor Leach, Erie, Colorado. Dalton Woody, Cibolo, Texas.
Dave Milburn from Lincoln, Nebraska. David Berzins, Houston, Texas.
Dave Ryan, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dayton Watkins, Valley Center, Kansas.
Grant Bloyer, Winfield, Kansas.
Hudson Smith, Waukomis, Oklahoma.
Hugo Kinabuchi, San Diego, California.
Ian Leckie, Overland Park, Kansas.
Justin Durnall, I'm from Windsor, Colorado.
Kalen Haynes, Trophy Club, Texas.
Kendall Theory, Westlake, Louisiana.
Malachi Swartz, Overland Park, Kansas.
Nadia Kizumura, Tokyo, Japan. Maddie Solomon, Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Nick Platten from Adelaide, Australia.
Noah Roberts, Wichita, Kansas.
Omar Aguilar, Panama City, Panama.
Quinn Gettle, Joplin, Missouri.
And welcome back here to the City Ball Diamond. Ryan texted me from Ford asking me, he knows softball, what's my favorite sport to watch, not including baseball? Oh, I'm a huge basketball fan and a huge football fan as well. So that's where I rank, but I do enjoy watching baseball and fast pitch softball. Paige Beadle coming to bat here in the bottom of the second, and Paige takes a strike on the outside corner. Paige tore the cover off the ball in game 1. Pair of singles and a double. Paige lifts one, and that will trickle foul. And Paige, a long strike. Good group of people watching the game from right field out there. I kind of like that. You can see them out there beyond the fence behind the shortstop Bulkin. That one drifts outside for Paige. I think out 1 or 2. And Paige has that one drift outside of the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're all even at 2. So Cox deals and Paige lifts it. That could be an Asta lasagna. Don't get any on you as it goes over the baseball players. Paige knocks one deep, a solo shot home run, clearing everybody out there beyond the right field fence. And the Larks tack up a run on the leadoff home run of the bottom of the second. So Paige goes deep, and the Larks take a 2-0 lead. And let's bring up Boo Ruiz. So Boo stepping in. So Boo, her first at bat of this contest. And Boo takes a strike from Cox. 2-0 our score as Paige goes over the baseball players out there. Boo chases the changeup, and she's quickly behind 0-2. A great pitch by Cox. Abby Cox with a filthy changeup. That one misses down and away. Pitcher's pitch for Cox. I like that spot. Now text saying, woohoo, go Paige. That's the 505. Boo lifts one. Left center field, or right center field, going back. And that's caught up front of the fence. Nice play by Maynard out there as the ball almost jumping off the Larks' bat. And there's one away for Anis Aguilar. So Nis digs in, her first at bat in the second game. And the pitch. Nis fouls it back over her heads and a play. And the count 0-1. Good turnout for today's game. Boo's Dennis saying, love you, Boo. Nis lifts it, it'll stay in play. Going back as a second baseman, Pedro making a play. And this will bring up Jenna Garcia. So Jenna will dig in. So Jenna coming to bat here in the bottom of the second. Jenna's numbers on the season. She's 7 for 24, 292 batting average, 3 runs driven in, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases for Jenna G, who for some reason wants to fight me on sophomore day. I don't know why, what I did to Jenna, but she said we're going to fight. I don't know why. She might take me. So Jenna digging in. And Jenna takes a strike. Got text saying, great hit, Nissa, love Dad. And my buddy Ryan asked me, favorite sport growing up? Basketball. Wasn't good, loved it anyway. Jenna has the count even up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Say, go Larks, we saw that page. Love from Dad and Heather watching from California. So Jenna fouls it off, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jenna G behind in the count 1 and 2. Jenna on the ground with a shortstop, Bolkin. Bolkin throws over, and just by a step. Nice play for Bolkin, but a run scores for the Larks on the bomb by Page. We've played 2. Larks lead 2-0 back after this.
Adriana Ruiz from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Amy Bertado from Whittier, California. Anissa Aguilar, Hacienda Heights, California. Cassidy King from Cochranville, Pennsylvania. Chelsea Smith, Tacoma, Washington.
Jenna Garcia, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Jenna Schneider from Lodi, California.
Jessie Miranda from Turlock, California.
Kaylin Lastly from Salina, Kansas.
My name is Alexis Avalos, and I'm from Yucaipa, California.
Madison O'Brien, Zuni, Virginia.
Malia Sandy from Girard, Kansas.
Paige Biddle from Sacramento, California.
Reese McCrary from Sacramento, California.
My name is Sadie Leatherman, and I'm from Couts, Indiana.
Shay Hoover, Potwin, Kansas.
And welcome back here to the City Ball Diamond. Ryan asked me, what was my favorite sport playing growing up? I enjoyed golf. I still enjoy golf a lot. Played baseball, played basketball. Did enjoy basketball, just wasn't very good. Adriana Pedro coming in, and Pedro taking a strike. Excuse me, Pedro. He's taking a ball again. Got a text saying, "Love you, Boo. See you in a couple weeks. Love, Mom." That one misses outside, and they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one's missing outside, and our count 3 balls, no strikes to Adriana Pedro. Swing and a miss. And they count 3-1 to Pedro. Pedro's was 1 for 3 in game 1. There's a strike. Pedro took the strike. Knew it was a strike. And our count is full, 3-2. Payoff pitch from Amy. Upstairs, ball 4, free pass to Pedro. As we're on the top of the 3rd, excuse me. Kellen Maynard, the right fielder, coming to bat. Maynard showing the bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball. So the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Leadoff runner aboard here for Fort Scott. There's a strike. A good pitch from Amy Bertado. Peter will have to stay at first base, and the count evens up at a 1 ball and 1 strike. Bunt laid down. Jenna Schneider snuffing it out. Swing it over to Paige. Paige with a cover. Nice bunt, though. And 1 out. Got a text saying, "The Schneiders will be here on sophomore night. Can't wait to see the Jenna G Rusty brawl. She'll probably win." And this is Mackenzie Sample. Sample lifts one. That's on the infield. Jenna calling for it. Makes the play. And there's 2 outs on the pop out. So 2 quick outs here as Peter's over at second base after the bunt. And that brings up Kennedy Meyer. Meyer grounded out to Paige Biddle in the top of the 1st. We're in the 3rd. Larks leading 2-0. Fort's got a very small but potent roster. That one's lifted. Jessie Miranda going back and makes a snag over her shoulder. So after getting leadoff runner aboard, 1, 2, 3 go. The Greyhounds will go to the bottom of the 3rd. Larks leading 2-0.
Rabbit Rod, Houston, Texas.
Brett Heichman, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Caden Bartlett, Amber, Oklahoma.
Caleb Stoll, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Tatum Ferguson, Nassau, Bahamas.
Connor Leach, Erie, Colorado.
Dalton Woody, Cibolo, Texas.
Dave Milburn from Lincoln, Nebraska. David Berzins, Houston, Texas.
Dave Ryan, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dayton Watkins, Valley Center, Kansas.
Grant Bloyer, Winfield, Kansas.
Hudson Smith, Waukomis, Oklahoma.
And welcome back to the bottom of the 3rd. Jessie Miranda to lead this off. Jessie, a lot of baseball players here rooting on the softball team. And Jessie takes a strike. Jessie singled, stole 2 bases, came home. on the sacrifice fly by Lexi for the first run of the game. On the ground of the second baseman, Pedro throws over, and just by the slimmest of margins gets Jesse. Jesse with some wheels, and there's one out. And that's always a tough play. Second baseman knows that the runner getting down the line quickly. Pedro stayed with it. Stayed within herself. Made a nice play. One out for Kaylin Lastly. And Kaylin takes a strike. Kaylin drew a walk. Was stranded at second in the first. And my buddy Ryan asked me, I've never heard of that, Ryan. Kaylin lifts one. That's going to be a C-nice single as that ball had eyes and found a hole. And Kaylin aboard with one out for Lexi. Lexi hit a sac fly, scored a run. She's officially in this game 0-4-0 with a run scored, an RBI. Good turnout here of crowd. A lot of people out there in right field. I like the right field on the lawn chairs. So Lex digs in. One out, and Lex takes a ball. So it was high. And the 1-0 coming up. Cox gets her sign. That one too high. Kaylin will take second base on the wild pitch. So Lexi now has the count moving 2 balls and no strikes to Lex. That one high to Lex. On the count 3 balls and no strikes. Lex takes a strike. And I count 3-1 now to Lex. Lex fouls it off, fighting it off. And our count moves full. Cox getting her sign. Lex on the ground. At Bolkin. Bolkin checks the runner, throws over. Nice play by Bolkin. And there's 2 away. Bolkin right there. Checked Kaylin, made sure she couldn't advance. And throws Lex out, and that brings up Sadie Leatherman. Sadie drew a walk after an incredibly long at bat. Or I think even I threw 2 or 3 pitches. Long battle in that at bat. As Sadie chases the first pitch she sees. And it's 1 strike to the freshman from Indiana. The 0-1. And Sadie takes a strike and she's quickly behind 0-2. So Sadie quickly behind with 2 outs and 1 runner on in the third. That one upstairs. And our count 1-2. Sadie hammers one, and that will be foul. She was well out in front of that one. And our count 1-2. Sun quickly starting to dip in the west. Sadie chasing. Larks strand a runner. We've played 3. Larks leading 2-0. Back after this.
Adriana Ruiz from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Amy Bertado from Whittier, California. Anissa Aguilar, Hacienda Heights, California. Cassidy King from Cochranville, Pennsylvania. Chelsea Smith, Tacoma, Washington.
Jenna Garcia, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Jenna Schneider from Lodi, California.
Jessie Miranda from Turlock, California.
Kaylin Lastly from Salina, Kansas.
My name is Alexis Avalos, and I'm from Yucaipa, California.
Madison O'Brien, Zuni, Virginia.
Malia Sandy from Girard, Kansas. Paige Biddle from Sacramento, California.
Reese McCrary from Sacramento, California.
My name is Sadie Leatherman, and I'm from Couts, Indiana.
Shay Hoover, Potwin, Kansas.
And welcome back to the City Ball Diamond. As we're into the top of the 4th, Fort Scott trailing 2-0. 2-3-4 in the lineup. This is a very dangerous spot in the lineup here for the Greyhounds. They can put up runs in a hurry. We saw that a couple times in the first game. Katie Bunch popped out in her first at bat. And Bunch takes the ball inside. The 1-0 coming up. Bunch, a little push bunt. Kalen playing back throw. Not in time, and Bunch lays down a perfect little infield single bunt. And that brings up Lane Bolkin. Bolkin grounded out. But Bolkin very dangerous. Larks leading 2-0. As we're in the top of the 4th. There's a strike on the outside corner from Amy Brutado. That one flared and into the stands. And the Fort Scott fans diving for cover, almost diving for cover. Count 0-2 here to Bolkin. Amy well ahead. That's down the dirt. Nice block from Sadie. I think count 1-2. Bolkin lifts it. That's tailing, and that will be a foul ball. And our count still remaining 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a line drive. That'll be fair ball. No, just check a foul ball. I thought that was behind the bag almost from my angle, but umpire had a better angle than I did. And our count still remaining 1-2 to Bolkin. Lane Bolkin, a freshman. Bolkin fouls it back to the fence. And our count still remaining 1-2. top of the fourth. Larks in front 2-0. This game moving right along. First game was all over. What a wild ride it was. A lot of fun in that first game. Vulcan looks at one outside. We're even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Time called. Vulcan steps out. Vulcan has the runner going, and swiping second base was Bunch. Vulcan looks at ball 3. As we're full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball, left center field, going back, and that is off the wall. This can't come up with it. Vulcan's going to have herself a double. Runs coming in, and Page eats the throw. Vulcan has a double and an RBI, and the Greyhounds are on the board. Two to 1 our score, none out. And Abby Cox will be up. Cox, very, very dangerous. As Amy gets her sign, we're in the 4th. Cox lifts it, center field, high fly ball. Nis camping underneath it, making the play. And there's 1 out. Vulcan just missing, or excuse me, Cox missing. And that brings up Delaney Freeze. Freeze struck out and was thrown out then from the catcher to first base. So 1 out for Delaney Freeze. The Greyhounds have cut the lead in half, 2 to 1. As Amy misses with a change up outside. We're in the 4th. First game did take a little while longer than normal. That is tapped at Page. Page smothers it and tosses over to Jenna Schneider. And there are 2 outs. However, the tying run does move up 90 feet, or excuse me, 60 feet. 90 feet's baseball. 60 feet in fast pitch softball. And there's a strike to Jordan Coddington, the catcher for the Hounds. And that one coming inside, hitting Coddington. Coddington wears it. And now runners at the corners. This is Dad texting, great catch. Yes, it was a good catch. Camped underneath it. And time being called. As Coach Sharp wants to talk things over here. Larks will be in action right here tomorrow, 4 and 6 for Pratt, and we'll stream those games too. And as there's still meeting out here, Larks will be in action. The baseball will be back on tap on Tuesday for everyone. Good group of fans out in left center field. Quick little meeting over. So 2 away, runners at the corners. Larks up by a run, 2-1, top of the 4th. That one missing outside to Adriana. Pedro drew a walk in her first at bat. Pedro pulls back on her count, 2 balls and 1 strike as Coddington moves up on the fielder indifference. That's on the ground. Past the diving Jesse Miranda. Tying run coming in. Kaylin Lashley. They tag Pedro over. She does get an RBI, gets a single, but gets the tying run across and is tagged out on the 7-5-4 relay. We're tied up though at 2. We'll be back after this here on the Lark Network.
Rabbit Rod, Houston, Texas.
Brett Heichman, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Caden Bartlett, Amber, Oklahoma.
Caleb Stoll, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Adam Ferguson, Nassau, Bahamas.
Connor Leach, Erie, Colorado.
Dalton Woody, Cibolo, Texas.
Dane Milburn from Lincoln, Nebraska. David Berzins, Houston, Texas.
Dave Ryan, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dayton Watkins, Valley Center, Kansas.
Grant Bloyer, Winfield, Kansas.
Hudson Smith, Waukomis, Oklahoma.
Hugo Kinabuchi, San Diego, California.
Ian Leckie, Overland Park, Kansas.
Justin Durnall, I'm from Windsor, Colorado.
Kalen Haynes, Trophy Club, Texas.
Kendall Theory, Westlake, Louisiana.
Malachi Swartz, Overland Park, Kansas.
And welcome back here to the bottom of the 4th. Larks and Hounds all knotted up at 2 runs apiece. Thank you. No, that's fine. So Amy Bertano coming to bat. Amy struck out her first trip to the dish in this second game. Bottom 4 all tied up at 2. Amy first pitch swinging, fouls it off. She was still in the box in foul territory when he hit her. Amy quickly behind 1 strike. Another one of our famous Kansas sunsets getting ready to be set up. On our count, even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Shay will agree with me. Kansas has the best sunsets. Hands down. The 1-1 delivery here from Abby Cox. And that change drifts low. And our count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Amy watches that one outside, and the count now 3 balls and 1 strike, so Amy very far ahead. Paige is on deck. Paige had a bomb in her last at-bat that cleared the baseball players and fans out there. So big hitters count here. And there's a strike. And our count, full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Amy stepping back in. Amy lifts one, and that will be out of play and foul. And our count still remaining full. Amy hammers one on the ground, but Sample gobbles it up and throws over. And there's one out here in the fourth. Paige hit a towering bomb out there to left center field. And the 0-1, or excuse me, the first pitch to Paige is a ball. So the count 1-0. That one drifting low, and the count 2 balls, no strikes here to the freshman. And the 2-0. That strays outside from Cox, and the count 3 balls and no strikes here. And Cox will deal. And that one stays low, and Paige is aboard on the walk. And that'll bring up Adriana Ruiz. And a quick conference as Fort Scott will talk things over what they want to do with Boo. Nis trying to stretch out as well. I said Larks will be in action tomorrow right here. First pitch 4 o'clock here on the Lark Network. And then softball will head to Nebraska to Beatrice on Monday. It's always been Beatrice. So Beatrice, they'll play Southeast Community College in a double header, and then they'll return home. Take a quick. Boo with their pre-at-bat shimmy. We'll have Cloud County on baseball on Tuesday the 9th, and softball against Labette on the 11th. And looks like Coach Sharp making a couple of changes possibly. Or getting ready to do something with some changes. So we'll figure out what's going on here. And so Boo's slated to bat. Runner on, 1 out. It looks like finally ready to go. And so Boo flew out to right field in her first at bat of this game. Boo calls time, steps out. That one stays upstairs from Cox to Boo. 5 straight balls, unfortunately, for Abby Cox right now. Boo on the ground, and Vulcan can't come up with throw across. And Boo is gunned out, though, by Sample. It's a long 6-5 to 3 put out. 2 outs for Nissa. And Nis fouls it off the plate. And 1 strike to Nis. Nis lifts it, Left field, going back, and that is out of here. This gives the Larks the lead with a home run. A 2-run bomb by Nis, and the Larks retake the lead. Larks now lead 4-2 after the 2-run homer. And that'll bring up Jenna G. So Jenna will come up with 2 outs. Larks retake the lead. They add 2 on the home run. So Larks using the long ball in this game. As Nis gets it up and out. And that one rises high over Jenna. 1 ball. Jenna looks at the ball too. In the 4th, Larks lead 4-2. And Jenna will take a strike, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful evening for softball. Jenna swings through, and our count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jenna, the sophomore from Hutch, just 30 miles to the west, to where the sun's setting. Jenna watches ball 3 as that drifts outside, and our count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Abby Cox. Jenna swings through, but the Larks tack up 2. We've played 4. Larks lead 4-2. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
Adriana Ruiz from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Amy Bertado from Whittier, California. Anissa Aguilar, Hacienda Heights, California. Cassidy King from Cochranville, Pennsylvania. Chelsea Smith, Tacoma, Washington.
Jenna Garcia, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Jenna Schneider from Lodi, California.
Jessie Miranda from Turlock, California.
Kaylin Lastly from Salina, Kansas.
My name is Alexis Avalos, and I'm from Yucaipa, California.
Madison O'Brien, Zuni, Virginia.
Malia Sandy from Girard, Kansas. Paige Biddle from Sacramento, California.
Reese McCrary from Sacramento, California.
My name is Sadie Leatherman, and I'm from Couts, Indiana.
Shay Hoover, Potwin, Kansas.
And welcome back here to the City Ball Diamond. Coming in to pitch is the strikeout machine, Chelsea Smith. So Chelsea coming in to pitch as we're into the 5th. Larks leading 4-2 after the 2-run bomb by Ness. And this will be Kevin Maynard batting now. And Chelsea deals to Maynard. Maynard swings right through the first pitch she sees. Got text saying, "Way to go, Nissa." Nissa's dad texting me. And Maynard chasing the second one, and the count out 0-2. And strike 3 as Chelsea will add to her strikeout total. We're in the top of the 5th. 1 away for Mackenzie Sample. Booze moved over to first base. And Chelsea has come in to pitch. And there's a strike from Chelsea. As we're in the top of the 5th, Larks leading 4-2. That one drifting a little bit outside and high to Sample. Sample popped out in her first at-bat. That one down low to Sample. And our count. Our count, 2 balls and 1 strike. That one raises. And our count, 3-1. There's a strike at the knees. And our count is full 3-2. Chelsea gets her sign and deals. That one punched foul to the fence. Sample staying alive. Payoff pitch coming up. And that one upstairs, and Chelsea loses Sample. Sample will draw the free pass, and the Hounds with a tying run at the plate in the form of Kennedy Meyer. One away in the top of the 5th. Meyer's 0 for 2. The ground out and a pop out. Meyer will show bunt, but she'll pull back. And she'll take a strike on the outside corner. And I count 1 strike. That one fouled into the fence. And Meyer now quickly behind 0-2. You're welcome. The 0-2 coming up. Swing and a miss, and Meyer is retired. Two away here in the top of the 5th. That will bring up Katie Bunch. And Bunch takes a strike as Chelsea took a little bit off of that and working ahead. Bunch swinging through, and the count 0-2. That's a little looper. That will drop foul. Ball foul. Umpire right there on the line, moved right down the chalk, saw the ball. Foul ball for Bunch. Bunch battling. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Bunch goes down. Chelsea strikes out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Larks leading 4-2. Back after this.
Rabbit Rod, Houston, Texas.
Brett Heichman, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Caden Bartlett, Amber, Oklahoma.
Caleb Stoll, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Tatum Ferguson, Nassau, Bahamas.
Connor Leach, Erie, Colorado.
Dalton Woody, Cibolo, Texas.
Dade Milburn from Lincoln, Nebraska. David Berzins, Houston, Texas.
Dave Ryan, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dayton Watkins, Valley Center, Kansas. Grant Bloyer, Winfield, Kansas.
Hudson Smith, Wacomas, Oklahoma.
Hugo Kinabuchi.
And welcome back here to the bottom of the 5th. Jesse Miranda will lead this off. Larks leading 4-2. Jesse's 1 for 2. And Jesse takes a strike. Jesse on the ground, and Bolkin comes up with it in time. Bolkin with a nice play. And that'll bring up Kalen Lastly. Nice play by Bolkin, though, to play that even after the hop. Kalen comes up. Kalen 1 for 2. 1 for 1, excuse me, with a single and a walk. And has been to second twice. And Kalen takes a strike. Up top. Gorgeous evening for softball. Beautiful sunset in the west. And Kalen takes strike 2. Cox working here. Cox on the season, 61 innings pitched. He is the leading inning eater here for the Greyhounds. And that one drifting low and away. 1-2. Got a text saying go HC baseball and softball. All right. And they count 1-2. The 1-2 delivery stays low and away again, and a count now even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kalen fights off the changeup but pops it to the first baseman Freeze. And they're 2 away here for Lexi, and Lex is 0 for 1. Lex in a little bit of a funk. So, Lex going to work. With 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Lex takes one outside for a ball. The 0-1 coming up. That one too far outside. And our count, no moving, 2 balls and no strikes here to Lex. And the 2-2, or the 2-0. Lexi hammers one, but a nice glove work over there by Freeze. And the Larks go quickly and quietly 1-2-3 in the 5th. We played 5. Larks lead 4-2.
Adriana Ruiz from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Amy Bertado from Whittier, California.
Anissa Aguilar, Hacienda Heights, California.
Cassidy King from Cochranville, Pennsylvania.
Chelsea Smith, Tacoma, Washington.
Jenna Garcia, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Jenna Schneider from Lodi, California.
Jessie Miranda from Turlock, California.
Kaylin Lastly from Salina, Kansas.
My name is Alexis Avalos, and I'm from Yucaipa, California.
Madison O'Brien, Zuni, Virginia.
Malia Sandy from Girard, Kansas. Paige Biddle from Sacramento, California.
Reese McCrary from Sacramento, California.
My name is Sadie Leatherman, and I'm from Couts, Indiana.
Shay Hoover, Potwin, Kansas.
And welcome back here to the City Ball Diamond. Lane Bolkin coming to bat. Bolkin doubled in her last at bat. Top of the 6th we go. Larks in front by 2, 4-2. So Bolkin 1 for 2 with an RBI, adding to her total on the season. And that one stays downstairs to Bolkin. Again, if you're a fan of the Hounds, fan of Larks, love to hear from you. That one fouled into the fence. And our count 1-1. And our count 1-1. That is a little line drive. Page makes a play on the catch. And there's one away. And Abby Cox coming to bat. Cox 0 for 2. And they can't. And Cox, as we said, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. That one popped up and out of play. Into this tree. This tree has taken a beating behind us. And our count 0-1. Cox swings through the fastball, and the count now quickly 0-2 to Cox. Got text saying, "Go, Boo, I'm here watching with Nana." All right. That one stays low. And our count 1-2. And the 1-2 coming up. And that's fouled and into the ground and off of the umpire's mask. The count 1-2. That pitch inside. Our count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got text saying, great jobs, Larks. Let's keep it going. That's Nissa's dad sounding in. And the 2-2 delivery coming up. That one fouled back into the fence. And our count still remaining 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 delivery fouled back into the fence. And a long battle here for Cox, the ever dangerous hitter. Did hit a 2-run home run in game 1. That's a little flare out there. That will drop in for a base hit as Nissa plays it off the hop. And Cox finds some green. And that brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Delaney Freeze. 1 away here, top 6. As Freeze digs in, Chelsea looking, getting her sign. And there's a strike from Chels. The 0-1 coming up. That's a little flare, and that will drop in for a base hit. This can't come up with it. It'll go all the way to the fence. Freeze going to second. And Freeze comes in with the double. And a run comes in, and the lead has been trimmed to 1 single run, 4-3 here in the 6th. And that brings up Jordan Coddington. And Freeze with the double. And Jordan Coddington coming to bat. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the text. 4-3 our score here into the top of the 6th. One away here for the Greyhounds. Tying run just sits 120 feet away. Back-to-back hits, adding runs as Coddington steps up. She was hit by a pitch in her last at-bat. And she takes a strike from Chelsea. Bunt laid down. Chelsea to Page covering. Nice bunt by Coddington getting the job done. Lays the bunt down, moves the runner, the tying run just 90 feet away with 2 away for Adriana Pedro.
Levi, come on now.
Swing and a miss by Pedro. Got a text saying, hi from Kaylin's mom. Normally at all the games, but watching from Indy. Thanks for providing the opportunity to watch. Well, thanks, Angie. Glad you texted in. Glad you could watch via stream. And Chelsea working quickly. There's a strike. And our count 0-2. That one fouled back to the fence. And our count still riding 0-2. And the 0-2 delivery coming up from Chelsea. Chelsea rocking, firing, dealing, and that's low. Sadie hangs on. The 1-2 delivery now. Strike 3, and Chelsea works her way out of the jam with a strikeout. We've played 6. Larks lead 4-3. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
Rabbit Rod, Houston, Texas.
Brett Heichman, Lindsborg, Kansas.
Caden Bartlett, Amber, Oklahoma.
Caleb Stoll, Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Tatum Ferguson, Nassau, Bahamas.
Connor Leach, Erie, Colorado.
Dalton Woody, Cibolo, Texas.
Dave Milburn from Lincoln, Nebraska. David Berzins, Houston, Texas.
Dave Ryan, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dayton Watkins, Valley Center, Kansas. Grant Bloyer, Winfield, Kansas.
Hudson Smith, Waukomis, Oklahoma.
Hugo Kinabuchi.
And welcome back here to the City Ball Diamond. Sadie Leatherman fouls the first pitch off she sees as we're in the bottom of the sixth, excuse me. Sadie fouls it back and quickly is 0-2. Sadie walked in her first at bat, struck out in her second. And that one misses outside, and our count 1-2. Sadie watches that one outside, and our count 2-2. Sadie swings through and is retired. That brings up an out, or brings up Amy Brutato. Amy 0-2. And Amy takes a strike. In both of Amy's previous at-bats, they've been full count. So Amy has worked the pitchers, or worked Abby Cox, as Cox still pitching. And Amy chases, and she's quickly behind 0-2. The 0-2. That one misses downstairs, and our count 1-2. That one fouled off and out of play. That's on the ground, and Sample can come up with the shortstop. Bolkin does, and tosses away, and Amy is aboard. And Chelsea Smith coming in to run. So Paige coming in. Paige is 1 for 1 with a homer and drew a walk. With one away here in the bottom of the 6th. That one gets through, and Chelsea moves up. That's the count. Paige hammers it, and that will roll foul. That was foul, picked up in foul territory. That one misses outside. And count 2-1. And the 2-1 bunt lay down. Paige fouls it off. Our count 2-2 here in the 6th. Paige swings and misses. And Boo will bat with a runner away, a runner 60 feet away. Boo chasing on our count. Even up, 1 ball, 1 strike here to Boo in the 6th. Boo moves out of the way on the count now, 2-1. The 2-1 delivery. Strike at the knees, and the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Larks leading by 1, 4-3. Move on the ground, gloved by Cox. Cox throws over, and the Lark threat is retired. We've played 6. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Larks leading 4-3. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
Adriana Ruiz from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Amy Bertado from Whittier, California. Anissa Aguilar, Hacienda Heights, California.
Cassidy King from Cochranville, Pennsylvania.
Chelsea Smith, Tacoma, Washington.
Jenna Garcia, Hutchinson, Kansas.
Jenna Schneider from Lodi, California.
Jessie Miranda from Turlock, California.
Kaylin Lastly from Salina, Kansas.
My name is Alexis Avalos, and I'm from Yucaipa, California.
Madison O'Brien, Zuni, Virginia.
Malia Sandy from Girard, Kansas. Paige Biddle from Sacramento, California.
Reese McCrary from Sacramento, California.
My name is Sadie Leatherman and I'm from Couts, Indiana.
Shay Hoover, Potwin, Kansas.
And welcome back to the top of the 7th. Larks lead 4-3. And Josie Bartlett coming to bat here for the Greyhounds as the Larks trying to close this one out. This will be Bartlett's first at bat. And Chelsea working to try and complete the save. And there's a good strike from the first at bat to Maynard. The 0-1 coming up. That one's too far outside, and our count 1-1. The 1-1 delivery here from Chelsea coming up. And there's a strike at the knees to Bartlett. That one misses away. And our count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 delivery coming up from Chelsea. And our count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there's a little flare. Paige going back, and Paige can't come up with it. And the tying run aboard on the chop swing. And Bartlett aboard with a little single. Mackenzie Sample coming to bat now. Sample 0 for 1. So the tying run standing over there at first base. Bunt popped out. Sadie can't come up with it. Sample offered out, like 1 strike coming up. Chelsea deals that pop straight up. Sadie makes a play, and there's 1 away on the pop out. That'll bring up Kennedy Meyer. Meyer 0 for 3. The leadoff hitter. And Meyer fouls it off.
Alec, catch it next time!
And Meyer quickly behind 0-1. The 0-1 coming up. The runner offered. Paige slipping in and dropping the ball. But Meyer now behind a stolen base for Bartlett. They count 0-2. Top of the 7th, the tying run sitting 120 feet away. And that one stays upstairs to Meyer from Chelsea. And Meyer misses, or excuse me, Chelsea misses upstairs again to Meyer. And they count now 2 balls and 2 strikes one more time. Top of the 7th, the tying run is right out there at second base. Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for Chelsea. As there are 2 outs, and that brings up, this will be Sierra Sanderson. Sanderson was 1 for 4 in game 1. And heading out to talk to the Larks and what they want to do. Sanderson 1 for 4 in game 1. Pair of strikeouts, a single, runs scored, and a ground out. And Sanderson coming in to try and keep the Greyhounds in this. They trail by a run. Larks in front, and Chelsea trying to close the door on the Greyhounds and move up. They're 6-5 in the season of conference play. Chance to get to 7-5 possibly, but still a lot of softball here to be played, even though we have 2 outs. And that one misses upstairs to Sanderson. One ball to Sanderson. That one fouled back into the fence on our count, even at 1 ball, 1 strike. That one misses high and away in our count. 2-1. The 2-1 delivery coming from Chelsea. Sanderson fouls it off. And we are all even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 now to Sierra Sanderson. Runner 120 feet away. Lark fans starting to come to their feet a little bit. That one too far outside, and we're full 3 balls and 2. We're full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Big payoff pitch here from Chelsea. Chelsea getting the sign, likes what she sees, rocks, fires, delivers, and that's fouled off. And Sanderson stays alive. Strike 3 called, and Sanderson goes down. Chelsea closes the door on the Greyhounds. Larks come away with a 4-3 victory, sweeping the Greyhounds. And that will do it Our final score, Larks 4, Greyhounds 3. Tomorrow we'll be back right here on the Lark Network for a non-conference game matchup against Pratt. I'm Rusty Witcher saying thank you and good night.